Well, hello everyone on this Friday. Hope y'all are enjoyed the week. This is the weekend where Palm Sunday happens, and we go into Holy Week next week with Easter culminating on Sunday of next week. This Sunday, still Palm Sunday. So, if you haven't done your Easter shopping or gotten a little kitty something, or done some thinking about Jesus, well, you always have time to think about Jesus, but if you're really looking to do it for Holy Week, or that's what you planned on your 40 days of getting closer to God in this Lenten season, then you're running out of time, folks. Easter is almost upon us. Friday. It's a Catholic thing, the fish fry Fridays. So that's what we've been doing, folks. We've been flying to different places where fish fries would be kind of hot and heavy in those areas. For instance, we started in Hot Springs, Arkansas, with a bunch of big lakes, and I know a whole bunch of fish fries. We then pressed on to here, Elizabethtown, and folks, those Okies from Muskogee probably also do some fish frying. And oh, by the way, that's where the Citation 10 is about to head to. Now, this is going to be a little different stream. We're only doing it on YouTube with the Citation. We have a different stream planned later for our Twitch fans, as well as you all. You'll get to see that as well. But this is specially suited for you all in the YouTube community here. So I hope you enjoy it, because what we're going to do, we're going to brief our way through the flight, and then I'm just going to go quiet and let the Citation 10, well, it is the star of the show. I'm just the guy that does all the talking. We'll let it be the star and the diva, if we shall, and lead us on to the Muskogees of Okie. So with that, let's get ready and let's head on around it and into the office. But first, let's kind of take a look at this side. We're taking off, as you can tell, around sunrise, because sunset seems to really impact my system pretty hard. So we're going to reverse it and allow the sun to get up and hopefully brighten the day. Like I said, we're on the eve of Holy Week, so um, a lot to be thinking about over the next week, folks, as we head to Good Friday and Easter. All right, so there you have it, folks. The Citation 10. Our bird, the November 750 X-Ray Papa. So, beautiful bird. Seen them at Mid-America a few times. Just beautiful. Never got a chance to get up inside. I almost feel like I'm not worthy of it. And you know what? I probably am not. So, um, so yeah, I got to look at them from afar. So anyway, let's move on up and into the office. All right, so here we are, folks. We've kind of already gotten a lot of things ready to go. We just need, we just need our passengers to, you know, make their way to the plane. They're still indulging themselves in all the fish. So, so yeah, let's kind of take a look here, shall we, while we're waiting on them, and then we'll get into the briefing, and then head on, shall we? Let's go back here and see what can be seen. I mean, let's be on, folks, this is right out of the box in Laminar's X-Plane 12. It comes with it. You don't have to hunt it down. You may, if you don't like the colors, you may want to look for something different. That probably is out there. But overall, folks, this is right out of the box. They don't have some of the flair and the flash of Carenado here. But you know what? That's not what this is made for, folks. Most of it is just made for what's up here in the front, the office, as we like to call it. But to come back here to look is amazing. XP12 at its best. Did a phenomenal job. And as we begin to make our way back up front, they've even went so far as to, excuse me, tweak the cockpit, if you will, more. Instead of the default FMSs, they gave it the flair the Citation 10 was known for. So, um, kudos. Great job, guys, at Laminar on this plane. Just wish I could fly it better. But I don't fly it a lot, so that's, half the problem. So, but anyway, this is the office, folks. Two-man cockpit. And I don't think this plane is made anymore, folks. And that is a shame because it is beauty in every way. All right, so what have we done so far? Well, I've got the batteries on. I've got us on external power. Avionics and ECAS are on, but they're getting ready to be turned off so that we can get the APU up and running. That's over here, folks. That's this panel right here. So what you do is you click the master switch on. Once you see everything lighting up, I bet you can't guess, but we go APU start. Hold it for a count of 3, and then she fires up. Okay, and I'm just waiting for the EGT to stabilize. It looks like it has. Turn the generator on. Bleed air on. Okay, and we'll come back here. Avionics on. And that's all there is to it, folks. Simplicity at its best. And I hope my flight plan, it didn't save. Oh, yes, it did. Hang on. Yes, it did. All right. I was going to say, that's not cool. Again, I don't fly it a lot, folks, but I'm here to tell you, I really do like this plane. Take off, just making sure. Okay, we got our speed still. That's good. Oh, wait, let's go ahead and make sure this one's on progress. Whoop. All right. And our peoples should be out here shortly. So let's pre-flight the flight, shall we? Now, we are not going to fly this on VATSIM. Mainly because, like I said, I just want the star of the show, the star of the stream, the star of this Fish Fry Friday. Yours truly, November 750 X-Ray Papa. So let's pre-flight. Of course, we use Sim Toolkit for that. And guess what? I forgot to start it. Oh, what a day. Kick on the bot. There's the bot. Okay. Okay, now this flight, folks, is going to be about an hour and a half long. It's about 485 miles. And if you're not familiar with the speed demon they call the Citation 10, one of the reasons it may not be in service well, it's still in service, it may not be made anymore, is it can actually go supersonic. Folks, it's a very lightweight aircraft with very huge engines on it. And yes, they develop a lot of thrust, enough to put it up to a cruise speed 0.86 to 0.9. So you can tell it isn't going to take much to knock it over. So, and the aircraft itself, though, is not rated supersonic. So, any hotshot pilot who thinks they're Maverick can ram it at supersonic speeds, well, they're going to find their wings clipped. Not like Maverick's wings never got clipped. They're going to actually get clipped. So that might be part of what caused the problems. I don't know if there were any, but I heard a rumor they no longer make it. So I could look it up. I'm not going to worry about it, folks. They made it. We're flying it. And they still fly in the U.S. All right, so enough chitty chatty. All right, so coming out of our METAR here, we got a wind at 330 at 10 miles, and this is as of 23:35. So that was about, I'm looking at my clock right, that was just a few minutes ago, and 10 miles of visibility. We got a pretty good day out of here, folks. 23 will be our runway. We're again not worrying about flight planning. And here's our loadout. 6 brave souls back there. 1,530 pounds of cargo. 51, call it 5,200 pounds of fuel. Look at that, folks. There isn't many that fly that high, but 43,000 is going to be our cruise. 0.86. We'll do our best to rein those horses in. Don't be surprised if you see us up around 9.0, because it doesn't have an auto throttle per se. Meaning you dial it, you set it at 250, set it at Mach 0.86, and it's stable. You do it with the throttles. So there you go, folks. There's our pre-flight. You know what? You didn't even see it. Oh, I went through all of that and I didn't bring some toolkit up for you. Ah, look at me. Oh, I'm a real good captain, aren't I? Sometimes I don't even turn the fasten your seatbelt sign off. All right, so again, 6 brave souls, as you can see now in our loadout. 1,530 pounds, 5,200 pounds of fuel, and then 43,000 in Mach 0.86. All right, so we'll go ahead, and again, we're not filing a flight plan, so this will stay. All right, our passengers, I just got told, have been brought on board. Just take a look outside. You can see those massive engines. Look at that, folks. I mean, it's literally, that's the big eye candy on it. When it lands, folks, you know what it is. 1, usually it says Citation 10 on it. But 2, they're just huge. So much power in them. That's why. So anyway, let's go ahead, button her up. And let's get ready to roll, folks. We're going to run through the quick taxi checks out of here. Hang on just a second. Now, you know, I did not really pay attention much. There are no stars. So if we end up doing an approach into Muskogee, I didn't even think to look at what our assigned runway is right at this moment. 1-3. How long is 1-3? Oh, good. That's the long one. The longer, the better for flying with Mike. Okay, so there is an RNAV GPS approach. Okay. And no stars or SIDS, so we don't have that to worry about. All right, so we'll do that, and I'm going to go ahead, plug it in there, and we'll do the best we can. with what we can. Trying to figure this thing. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I've added it to the route. Let's go ahead and bring this on so that we're there. Okay. All right, so now I can bring these charts on and it'll make some semblance of sense. That was my bad for not prepping that earlier. All right, so here's charts. Actually, see if I can do it also on here. Good. All right, so we've got it on both. Okay, cool. All right, so we'll go with charts for it right now. All right, so you can see here's where we are. Here's how our route looks. So CCT to CNG to ARG, which I know is Walnut Ridge. FSM is Fort Smith, and then over here to Muskogee. Game plan is to fly out to Pokyo, I guess you call Pokyo, and enter the arrival. We'll kind of see how this plays out because weather looks good there too, so we'll see. But anyway, that's our game plan. Taxi brief real quick. That's not even close to where we are, but we're going to come down here, go out to our left, out here onto the taxiway and out to the run. Okay. There's your taxi out. There is departure. All we have for the departure brief for you folks is speeds will be 122, 126, 139, and we'll have flaps and everything up by 190. Climbing to flight level 430. Initially, we're going to get cleared to 5,000, and we'll make our turn direct CCT. So let's get that programmed up here while we're thinking about it. 5,000 first. That way it's selectable. And hopefully I remember all of this. Okay, and our runway today is 23. So that'll be a heading of 230. Okay, that made that easy. Okay, lastly, let's get our nav. Well, first off, okay, set there. And last but not least, let's head over here, 630. Clear the chart and CC. We'll go ahead and clear charts so I don't forget. That's the main reason, folks. Okay, and CCT is 1098. I don't think we're going to pick that up very quickly. So once we get airborne, we'll make a turn. Probably get us going in that direction. Rather quickly. Oops, I keep doing that. All right. And we'll be good from there. We'll be on the FMS then. All right. engine start time. Okay, this is an easy, yet got to think it through here real quick to start it. Okay, there are no fuel switches, folks. What this aircraft has, and it's hard for me to show it off because it's just really in this position, it's very hard. But right here, you can kind of see it. You got these little knuckles underneath the throttles. And what they're for is you'll fire them up as we're about to do. We'll start up number 2 first and then go to number 1. And as you get to your requested percentage, you'll then move them up from cutoff to idle. Your fuel is your throttle in this case. So cutoff is all the way back, and that's what those are for. You should be able to move them one at a time. Unfortunately, in our case, they're going to both move at the same time. So, right, so let's commence first off. All right, get them in their seats. What I'm going to do is do it from the middle here. So you got your fuel right here. We'll turn these cross feeds on in a minute after we start up. You got your electrical here, your generators, your battery switches, your external power, which by the way, we could come off since we're on that, the APU. You saw the APU over on the co-pilot side. You got hydraulics, your hydraulics here, your anti-ice, pressurization, and bleed is all right here. And then split throughout everything else. Okay. So here we go. Clear to start. Good start on number 1. Fire it up. Or number 2, my bad. Now you have it graphically here and a little digital, and of course right here. And you just want it to stabilize. Okay, you're number 1. Should get it automatic here. There we go. Again, it's because I have to move both. I can't get them to not do that. And that's the only bad drawback I have. You may have it, may be able to do it. Especially I have the Honeywell, I think it is, or Honey, or whatever they're called, yoke and joystick, or yoke and throttles, because I know they're individual. You know, you may be able to. But think Airbus. When you look at it, folks, you've got climb, max, MC, you know, you've got everything that you see. It just kind of clicks, and then in the real world, it kind of hovers. All right, so we're up, we're running. On the gens, cross feeds normal. No takeoff yet. Pitot heat's on. why it always says off? Oh, it's in this. I got it. Okay, so we're good here. Fuel boost is good. Ignitions are good. Standby power is good. FADEX in the normal position. Let's go ahead. Come off the bleed. Okay. And off the generator. Let it start spooling down. All right. And there you go, folks. We are started up. Now, one of the bad things about this plane, and I'm not going to, I'm not trying to dig it or anything like that. I mean, dig into it, I should say. TCAS works. This wasn't working before. Okay. So there's, okay. So it improves every time we get an update. Okay, that's my bad, folks. I was getting ready to say something I didn't like. Well, now it's working. Okay, cool. All right, so our barometric pressure here is 3021. We're at 28, so that's not too bad. Okay, and we do have to set it on the other side. And now, if you wanted to say something that, did I say 2-1? That would be one thing. I wish we could find a way to slave them together. Minimums, I don't show, so there it is. Okay, get the minimum showing up here. We're at 700, so I'll take it to, there we go, good 500 feet. We're ready to go, folks. Addington Field, Citation, November 750 X-ray Papa. At the ramp, taxiing to runway 23 for departure. And that would be done on Unicom. Unicom here, folks, is 121025. Oh. Is that a common traffic frequency? It's, don't know. Oh, it's AWAS. Never mind. Like, what the heck? Usually it tells you that. That's weird. All right, well, now it's AWAS. Okay. All right, so let's get our taxi light on. And here is where it gets a little squirrely for me. Brakes off. All right, so once we get airborne, okay, real quick, we'll run through that. We'll hand fly till we're aiming towards our VOR. Then I'm going to switch into FMS here, and we'll fly the box. So pretty simple straightforwardness here. Um, just getting to the end. Okay, I haven't heard anyone call in, nor do I expect to. Oh, look. I know they can't do this in the real plane, but we're going to go. There's the extended hold line. All right, Addington traffic citation November 750 X-ray Papa departing runway 23 to the south. Okay, we'll set the brakes. What I'm trying to do over here is get to those takeoff switches right here. Engine, we'll get that going after we're in the air. Okay, final checks, all green, flaps set. We do not have auto brakes, folks. And what's up here? Hang on. Okay, here we go. Parking brake off. Here we go. $80 knots. Positive brake gear up. And with that, folks, we will go silent. All right, folks. Well, we are in the base leg for our turn here on the RNAV. Still have the FMS running things. I plan to take over as soon as I see the runway, so we're just beginning our slow. Pacquiao, which is right in front of us. When we make that turn, we'll drop down to 2,400 feet and continue in. This will allow us to really slow now. Right now we're at about 11-mile final. Hope you enjoyed the flight, folks. Trying a few things I see other streams do, and you know, I kind of like them. So I thought I'd try to incorporate them here, especially with YouTube. Just a little bit of quietness to it until we get to a point we need to talk about something. So far, we've been doing pretty good on this flight. Time to set the altitude, but not engage yet. Coming down to 24. Okay. And like I said, when I see the runway, yep, those 6 brave souls back there paying admission onto here, well, they're going to get their money's worth. All right, so just about wings level. Let's come down a little. And let's go ahead and begin slowing. Landing speed again is 120. So about 630 once we hit bullet. Okay, Cullen is coming up. Hopefully there we'll see the runway, but if not, we'll continue down at about 700 feet a minute. We'll hold up at our minimum, which, if you were paying attention, is about 800 feet. So all right, so let's go ahead and bring it down. Okay, we got the run. Get the gear down. And a couple of things I want to talk about prior to us, if we get the ability to go over, that we ran into, as you saw on the, getting a little low here. A second. Anyway, that we ran into trying to set some things up. Finally figured it out, and I actually didn't have to go to the manual. It just was one of those duh moments. You'll probably go the same way. Should have known that, but didn't. All right, so flaps full, gear green. spoilers are, whoa, see there. We got a crosswind here, don't we? Okay, we're stable landing.
Minimums 200. $100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
All right, so welcome to the Okie from Muskogee. Welcome in here, folks. I hope you've had a great flight, enjoyed it. Not a lot of talk. That was the whole game here. I just wanted to talk in the opening sequence and right here at the end when we landed. Like I said, we'll go over those things here in a minute. But there you go, folks. Good old flatlands of Oklahoma. Now, why Muskogee? Other than the fact there's a pretty cool song, Okie from Muskogee. But I'll show you here as soon as we get on the blocks, along with a couple of things learned, lessons learned in flight. One thing I do want to see is if VNav is initiated in here, because I don't think it is. And if it is, what am I missing in setting up to get it to work? All right. All right, there you go. Nice shot. GoPro on the dash. All right, let's go ahead, refire the APU. Okay. And turn off some non-essential stuff here since we're okay. And got a little ways to go, folks. So, all right. But again, hope you all enjoyed. Here's again from the nose cam. I'm going to tell you, V1 Simulations. He's a YouTube streamer, taking a little bit of a hiatus, moving, baby, all of those things, making it difficult for streaming. Job location change. Uses this view a lot in most of his, and you know what? It really is cool. So thank you for showing that off, and I decided to make it one of mine on most of the aircraft I fly now. So really, I like this view, folks. So, and in the comments, if you don't like it, let me know. Hey, I can discontinue it. Isn't any. Only thing I was showing off in here, folks, was this area up here, which there is nothing. So, beats this, or doing something like this. And, I try. What I don't like is when I watch a stream, folks, I like to see the gauges. So, I mean, that's why you saw this quite a bit, so you could see the attitude, the speeds, all of that with it. Um, I just, I don't know. I feel, people are trying to learn from you how to do what you do on their own, or what I'm doing. So I try to give them as much information as possible. All right, the EPU's wound up. We're not going to go on the gen yet, even though it's yelling at me. But we are getting close to parking. Wow, we did a pretty good landing here. I just happened to look over. All right, so we'll get to that too here in a second. But we're starting to roll in on the ramp, so let's get out here and bring it in. And that same individual mentioned V1. Also, at one time in his aviation career, was corporate pilot, and made mention that these folks, think about it. Okay, you're flying a corporate jet, folks. Do you think you're paying $50 a seat? Okay, $100 on American? No. Um, you're more than likely paying 10 times that amount, to 100 times for a spot if you don't own the plane already. So your goal is to not have to deal with TSA. You're wanting to get there as fast as you can and a lot closer than you would at most of your airports they go into. So your goal is to be ready on their schedule, not the other way around. They're on your schedule with the airlines. Turn that taxi light off so the imaginary marshaller out there isn't blinded. All right, so we're in. Let's get on the APU. Get a couple things established here real quick. Generator on. Bleed air on. Okay, they can get up and about. I think we're off on all of that. Okay, shutdown. Folks, it's just not easy. It's easy, but it's not easy. That's what you got to do. And that's why I say if you could have it on those honeycomb throttles where you can just do that real easy, boy, I bet that works great. All right, we'll get these engines off here real quick. Okay, and You gotta love it when the rampies do that. All right, and off they go. There you go, folks. A nice look at the chariot that brought us into Muskogee. All right, first off, why Muskogee? Well, it's right here, folks. Lake Eufaula. It's one of the big lakes, big permanent fishing lake. So, my mind, a lot of fish fries around it. So, why not come in here? Um, and that's why we're here. My six peeps want to go and grab some fish. Why not? All right. So we got a beautiful shot here. Take your screenshots, folks. All right. Like I said, X-Plane did a phenomenal job on this plane. I, your pilot, am still learning it. All right. So let's get back up here. We'll go over a couple things here real quick. First, since I don't have a EULA, nor do I want to put, or not a EULA, a Lua script, I don't want to put any in this one. That tell you what I landed at. And it's not because I'm trying to hide it. It's because I'm not trying to hide it. Here, I'll show you real quick. Here comes some toolkit. 206 feet a minute. That, folks, was a pretty doggone good landing. Let's go over it real quick, then we'll go over lessons learned, get in the air, and see what we did. Okay, so we'll view the details. Let's go to the full landing report. I know the landing was long, as you can tell. Now, this is what we call a non-precision runway, meaning when they're precision, folks, you have those 500-foot mark hashes out there. We don't have those here because we do have a precision, but it's not classified that way. That makes sense. Okay, so, but we still shoot for the aiming bars. They're going to be on every runway, folks. That is what every pilot wants to hit. And I knew I'd be a little long. However, let's take a look at the metrics, shall we? Okay, 206 feet a minute. That is a great landing. I mean, my customers would be happy. This I want to check. I think we're about 10 knots slow on the landing, which may have made that a little more than what it was. But overall, folks, I mean, look at that. 1,700 feet down the runway, a foot and a half off the center line. That's, folks, that's picture perfect. Okay, so let's pull that away. Okay, now before we get out to see how well we did, lessons learned. Okay, now you saw me having troubles. Every time I went here, I'd click arrivals and this would not come up. What I did wrong. Well, every time I went, let's see, how would I have gotten there? I don't know if I could anyway, I was putting my flight plan in, okay? I get to a point where it says, next fix, next something, and then I couldn't get arrivals. What happened is I didn't put the destination airport in to close that off. I didn't know that. I learned, I just said, what the heck, let's give it a try. Puff, it worked. Puff, I got the arrival in. Puff, we flew it. So, that's one lesson learned. The other is going to just take time. Oh, here we go with speeds. All right, so 116 was what we were shooting for. 102 is what we landed at. So yeah, we were fast. The other thing I'm trying to learn how to figure out is these bearing selectors. When I put them in VOR, I thought you were supposed to see them here, but I guess I'm wrong and it only goes here. So folks, if you fly real corporate planes with this kind of gauging, or I think maybe some of the regionals may have this. Hey, help me out here. I'm having a little. I'm struggling, and folks, especially laminar folks, you can help me out with how the R or VNav works, if it works, if it's planned in the future. I don't know if you'll go that far. Any help I can get, folks, I would love. I mean, I try to fly it about once a week now. It may drop again. Sorry, the A320 and the A319 are awesome airplanes, folks. But this is awesome too. So, and I'm also waiting for the A330 to get the new mod, unless it's going to be like a Zebo kind of deal where I look for it that way. So, but I really like this plane, folks. It's really cool, really fun to fly. And again, for the $60 you pay Laminar to get XP12, it comes with it this way, folks. I didn't put anything into this. So, it's awesome. All right, let's button up. All right, here we go. And let's see what we can do. Or as I like to say, let's see what kind of damage we did. Now, the other neat thing that comes with X-Plane that doesn't come with other simulators, there's really only one on the market, but we're staying cool, staying away from that. If it works, right now, folks, remember, we're still, while I don't know if they're actually classified beta right now, we still have some buggies we're working out, and one of them does come with one of the best features X-Plane puts in, and that is the ability to replay not just a certain portion of your flight. If you really wanted to relive the whole thing, you could go back to when you started the sim, run it all the way to when you shut it down. But then, of course, it erases, and then you know how that goes. So, but anyway, so let's back up a little bit here. Trying to take it nice and slow, folks. We'll go from, that's a good point. Yeah, we'll go from here. Yep, perfect point. All right. And let's take a look at this, shall we, from a couple of angles. We're just going to fly. We're on the RNAV now, so we'll just do that. High speed it. Like I said, you go all the way back on this bar if you wanted. And you don't have to start it and stop it like you do others. There we go. All right, so let's see how we did. I saw some grease coming off those tires, folks. That was a really good landing. All right, let's take a look at it from the runway itself as we come in. And with that, folks, we're going to call this over. I want to thank you all very much for flying with Mike. I really hope you've had a great time going from Elizabethtown, Kentucky. Truckers called it E-Town. To Okie from Muskogee, landing in Muskogee. Hope you all have a fabulous, fabulous Fish Fry Friday. And opening into the Holy Week. And folks, the verse of the day that goes with this, that is not it. When he, and that is Judas, had gone out, Jesus said, "Now is the Son of Man glorified, and God is glorified in him." That came from John 13:21, part of the many verses we've been running for Holy Week as we prepare for the week of Easter. So enjoy the rest of the replays, and we'll see you next time. God bless, folks.